I'm live. I'm so happy to be live. Let me wait for everybody to get in here so we can get into it. I'm so glad that, okay, yep, let's just wait for everybody to get in. Hopefully YouTube is sending out a notification. Let me go back over here. Okay, now y'all are coming in. I'm like, why is it taking forever? But hey, y'all, come on in, come on in. I think YouTube is still alerting everybody. Yeah, at first it was not showing me, that you guys were coming in, but go ahead, come on in. Welcome to the live, y'all. It's been so long. Like, I don't know what possessed me today to like think when was the last time I got on live. And then I'm like, oh, so it has been a long time. So let me make sure I get on here, join the party. Okay. Make sure you guys are thumbsing up the live as you come in. It helps spread the word on the live. Make sure that all the subscribers are coming in. So I just wanted to, let's see, been on for like a minute. So I'll get to the let's say 2 minute mark, and then we can like get into it a little bit. As you guys know, if you haven't been in one of my lives before, I usually always start off with like 5 minutes of Q&A. So just answering any questions y'all have for me or about me in the comment section, and then we get into the topics, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so welcome once again. Hope you guys is joining the live. We got 200 people in here. I have not been live in like over a year, so I am so excited for tonight. Let me set a timer on my phone because I'm going to try to keep this a 1 hour long live. How do I set that? Yes, I'm going to try for us to do 1 hour. Once I actually like start talking about the topic though. For the first 5 minutes, like I said, we do Q&A. So yeah, we are going to start the Q&A portion. So if you have any question um, about anything about me, I guess you could say just personal, we'll use the next 5 minutes to just ask whatever. I will try to answer as many as I can. I am going to keep this live up, so you guys will be able to reference back this live if if it's too late where you are, or you got to be somewhere. So you guys can start to ask your questions. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're a silent watcher, just give me a thumbs up so that we can get the live, regulating. So let me go to the chat. I might miss some questions. So if I don't answer, try to ask it again because there's a lot of people in here. Let's see what we got. What we got. Someone said, what foundation? Honestly, what foundation did I use? I used drugstore. If you know me, I don't care how much money I'm gonna be making. I'm gonna use some cheap stuff. So I'm using the Revlon Color Stay in 600 cinnamon. That's what I'm using. This was not that expensive. Drugstore is the way how I go. Usually, I got to tell people I only spend money on foundation like that's actually like high end. But I did recently get this before I went to Nigeria, and it's been holding up. So yeah, but if I want to go high end, um, the lid just came off. But I'll use the Lancome. This one is like way more expensive, but honestly, yeah. I used to use the Kat Von D, and the Kat Von D, if you need full coverage, it works, but it's heavy, so be careful. But anyway, let me get back to that. How do you like living on your own? This is not, excuse me. This is not my first time living on my own. I lived on my own in college, but I guess this is my first time living on my own when I'm not a student. So far, so good. I feel like so much more refreshed. As you guys can see, like I'm getting more content out for you guys, which was my whole goal. This was such a delayed move that I'm like so happy that I can finally just be like, I'm in here and I'm finally like, doing what I want to do. So yeah. What TV shows are you currently watching? I just finished watching The Recruit on Netflix. It was good. The ending was a little like, huh? But I think they set up the ending for a great season 2. I would definitely recommend The Recruit. This is probably a little old, but I watched the Shazam movie recently. That was good. I know that's a movie. What other shows have I watched? Westworld, I watch Westworld on HBO with my manager because we sometimes like to watch like shows. So we'll do like a little party on Amazon. So we watch that. I always watch Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. That's my favorite show. I love the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. So yeah. Um, yeah, I love that show. Let's see. You are a very tall woman. I admire that. Have you ever been insecure about your height? Absolutely. Absolutely. I honestly feel like Meg Thee Stallion gave all tall girls confidence. Like I feel like up until she came out, tall girls never had an era. She came out and she gave the tall girls an era, and I like literally am so thankful for that because like being a tall woman is like people don't really recognize how awkward it is and how like you feel super duper like weird all the time. And it's not just about the fact that you're tall, it's about like when you go to the store you can't find clothes that fit. Like my biggest insecurity for myself is my arms, like how long and lanky my arms can look sometimes, and it comes from my height. But like I saw a picture of myself today and I was like standing and I'm like, oh my God, my feet is so big. Like I'd be so mad that my feet is big. But then I looked at my body. I'm like, my feet look right for my body. So yes, I've been insecure about being tall, but I'm like not insecure about it at all. I actually think it sets me apart. And I think tall girls are in their era now. So I feel like now it's not taboo to be a tall woman like that. Are you going to start a podcast? Yes, I have a podcast that's going to start this year, probably in the spring, with my modeling agency. So I've been getting the equipment slowly but surely because you know it'd be taking time. I pay for everything, but getting the equipment so it can be in my office with the models. So that we can talk about girl stuff because I don't want it to just be me. I feel like yes, but I have my own stuff on YouTube. So incorporating the young ladies, so we can have a different co-hosts per se and different topics is better to me. So it'll be posted on our YouTube channel. Like it'll actually be a filmed podcast, and then we'll also have it on streaming for you guys as well. Um, I'm trying to miss it, so I'm sorry. Do you have a desire to be on television as a part of your career? 50-50. Like I feel like I told myself like I would never do reality TV unless it was something like about me and my business. But I don't know, like that's reality TV. I actually want to be on Love is Blind. I used to think I would never do something like that, but I think I'm the perfect person for Love is Blind because I fall in love, like I can fall in love with somebody just off a conversation. So, granted, I do care what you look like, but I feel like I'm more about the connection and really getting to know somebody for who they are versus a lot of other stuff. So, shit, maybe I'll be on the next Love is Blind. Somebody tell me where they filming it. Would 5'5" be tall? I don't think 5'5" is tall. That's probably like an average height. What size shoe do you wear? I'm a 10 or 11. Like all of my UGG boots are in a 10. Most of my heels are in an 11 because I try to go up a little bit. But it just depends. Like I said, my UGGs are 10s. So if you ever want to give me some UGGs, I love UGG boots. Size 10. Can you do another video with Darius? We're not in college anymore, so he actually lives in a whole different city now. He works, well, I'm not gonna tell you who he works for, but he works in sports, which he was a football player. And he has a great job. I think, but I'm gonna try and link up with him because I haven't seen him in so long. Chioma, we need that African girl skin popping in the Sun song. I am Asian man and I'm getting I forgot my stuff and I'm getting hyped to that song. Yeah, I really do want to discuss music. I guess this Q&A session might be a little bit longer, but I'm gonna give myself like 2 more minutes. But that song in particular, like I'm actually kind of mad that I've been previewing y'all songs because now y'all are really asking for it. And at first, like I was just putting out music because I thought it was like something else to do. So now it's like, okay, like you want to take it serious, right? So for me, I'm like, I want to drop all this music because people are asking. And then I'm like, oh shoot, like you're not there yet to drop it. But that song, I don't want to tell too much of my business, but like there's another artist on that song, and that's really what the holdup is. So I have to just me and my management team have to make the decision on do I just write another verse for the song or keep that artist because it's been slowing down the process for real. But it's no hard feelings, it's just business. Thomas said, no, don't do that show. I want to be on Love is Blind. I just feel like I would be a perfect candidate if you really knew me, but probably won't actually do it. Is there anything you missed about Philly? I ain't gonna lie, probably not. But I love Philly at the end of the day. But I just don't have no like desire to go back to Philly in any way, shape, or form. Like, would you do the Temptation Island show? Yes, because I don't think I can meet somebody and have like that desire to just like have sex. Like I'm very like stay away from my body. I've been celibate for like years now, so it's like, yeah, I could definitely do that show. Um, Someone said write the verse anyway. If it comes through, it could be a third verse. Now that is a great idea. I'm gonna tell my manager that. I'm gonna definitely tell my manager that. What has dating been like since leaving college? I graduated in 2020 during the pandemic, so honestly, I never really got to explore the dating side. I feel like everybody's just getting their life back in 2022 is when everybody got their life back. And then for me, I turned 25 in 2022, and that's when everything hit me. Like it was like the day I turned 25. That's why I always tell y'all my age. But the day I turned 25 is when I was like, everything started to make sense. And I really started saying, like, this is what you want, this is what you don't want. So dating to me is very hard because I have like, not because I even have high standards, but I don't think I put myself out there and I'm not open to like a lot of stuff. Like, okay, so I have been talking to this guy though, but we've been talking for a long time. And I gave him like an ultimatum. And I think that's bad, like to give somebody an ultimatum. But I kind of gave him an ultimatum and he accepted my ultimatum. But I feel like that's just bad. Like if I have to give you an ultimatum, it's kind of like bad. So I kind of feel like at this point, I don't know. Like when Mr. Right comes, Mr. Right comes, I guess, or whatever. I don't even know what to do about dating. I'm just out the blue. But I most definitely feel like I'm just like, it's just not like a priority for me right now. Like right now, as you guys see, I've been posting content. I've been trying to get back into my own space, get my own apartment, be like, into this. I have all my bills is on me. My parents cut me all the way off. My parents called me the other day, like, yeah, we gonna have to cut you off the phone. So now I gotta pay my phone. I've been paying car insurance. I've been paying insurance. I've been paying all the student loans, rent, gas, food. It sucks being an adult. So it's just like I'm not even focused on that. I'm trying to get like Chioma straight. And then yeah. So someone said, I don't think y'all said y'all don't think it's bad that I set boundaries. Yeah, that's why I told myself, like, I just set a boundary because it came to a point where I'm just like, okay, like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have to ask that question and I'm giving you like the chance to do right. Like, I could have just said, fuck you, block, because I block a lot of niggas. I just want, shut up, Chama. I won't tell my business. But I blocked somebody recently. He just had to be blocked. Are you open to dating outside of your race? I am. At this point. Yes. Do you date non-black men? I never have, but I'm definitely like open to do that. Do you plan on still releasing your memoir? If you mean my book, yes. I actually started writing again. It's just a lot of things in my life have changed. My mindset has changed, so I had to go back and like change things. So I'm like, I wouldn't even say this now. Yeah. Am I dating right now? I don't even know how to answer that question because it's just like yes and no. Like I'm not going on dates or anything like that. I'm open to dating, but I'm not prioritizing dating. But I'll be talking to somebody, but it's just like to me, that's talking, that's not dating yet. We didn't even get to the dating phase. Um, yeah, focus on you, sis. You're doing awesome. God will bring you a good man when you least expect it. I always believe that, but I deferred from that for a while because I was young and dumb. But I definitely believe that. I feel like if I just follow God and like I have been, like even getting this apartment, like God did this, like because it took forever, right? To the point where I almost lost hope, but it came through. When I finally got the keys to my apartment, I was so like, how did you get like how? It was God. I just realized your teeth look amazing. I'm getting braces again soon. Yeah, I had Invisalign. So if you watch like an old video versus now, my teeth probably look way straighter. Wear your retainers every night. I do. I'm obsessed with my teeth. I'm obsessed with like teeth though now. Like, I don't know. Advice for a junior in college. Woo, hang in there, sis. Hang in there. Start to align yourself with whatever employers you want to, work for. Take advantage of every opportunity that's on campus, whether it's a career fair. Go to those career fairs. They have employers there that are looking to hire students bring your resume, update your resume, your CV. Utilize all those resources. I wish I would have done like a little bit more with it, even though I did take all of that. I would also say tap in with your advisor a lot more frequently. They have a lot of resources that, you just have to open your mouth and ask. In terms of like social aspects, I mean, if you're a junior in college, you probably understand like the idea of planning and time management, but just make sure that like you really, really prioritize the school first. Because my junior year was my best year of college. I was on dean's list and all of that because I really was prioritized. I broke up with my boyfriend in college, and that like I had like 3 boyfriends in college though. Never end. But the one time like I was like completely single, just focused on myself, and I did really good in school. So just prioritize that. Um let's see. Braces are better, but I'm so impatient. Yeah, low key. I feel like I should have just gotten metal braces, but I don't know. I was in front of the camera a lot, so I just didn't want that. But I really wish I kind of would have got it. But my Invisalign worked really well for me. Like my teeth look great. Would you consider moving to Nigeria permanently? After going to Nigeria this last month, I was like, maybe, but I don't think I would actually do it. But I would definitely travel there a lot more. I'm thinking about going to Lagos again in April. Yeah. Why did your parents cut you off? Because I'm grown. And everybody in my family graduated college now, so they probably just want to have their own life. Um, what's my favorite memory? I really can't even tell you. I really don't know. Somebody sent a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Sydney Coleman. Shout out to you, sis. Okay. Just got out the military to now civilian life is a culture shock. I know how it feels to be responsible all over again, child. Inflation is the beat. You right, sis, because gas was like 305 by my house earlier this week. I went to go get gas yesterday. It was like 350 in a matter of like 2 days. Like, and this inflation is crazy. I went to the grocery store. Everybody's been talking about eggs, and I tried to go get butter. It was expensive, just butter. So I was just like, yeah. Um, Let me answer like 3 more questions. What part of Nigeria are you from? My family lives in Benin City. I'm from Imo State, Nigeria, Owerri, Imo State. And then favorite show from childhood. Honestly, That's So Raven. I've probably watched every show. Who's your celebrity crush and why? This is gonna be my last question. What's Buddy name from BMF? Not the main character, his brother. He's just so fine to me. Da Vinci, he is so fine to me. And probably anybody that was an All American, they all fine. Oh, Keith Powers, fine. They all fine. Anyway, let's get into the hot topics. So I have 3 topics for tonight, and I actually took notes so I can stay on track. These are the 3 topics. Number 1 is bring back shame. Number 2 is generational influencers. And then our last topic is Chrisean Rock. I'm going to save her for the end because I kind of want to, I didn't even take notes on her. I literally just have Chrisean written on the paper because I'm like, let me just do it off the top. You know what I'm saying? We can't give it to them dry like that. Got to get it wet first. So we're going to get wet with these topics, and then we're going to go ahead. So topic number 1, bring back shame. I am more than shocked by this generation and how we love to excuse a lot of behavior. I think that a lot of shameful actions is in front of our face these days, and people aren't shameful anymore. And I think that this whole everything goes culture is really, really a hindrance. And the reason why I feel that way is because I feel like it allows for a lot of, and I don't even have to get too spiritual, but I feel like allows for a lot of bad energy to cascade into people's lives. Nobody has shame. People want to live in this lawless life, lawless country, lawless environment. Nobody wants to have morals. Nobody wants to have standards. Nobody wants to just say like, hey, this is right and this is wrong. Everybody's everything goes. So many times in my comment section, people say things like, oh my God, you're so harsh. You're so judgmental. You're such a hater. Let people do what they want. Nothing, and I mean nothing I say should be stopping anybody from doing what they want to do. However, people have the right to be like, no, we're not going to do that. we're not going to like that. We're not going to promote that. We're not going to say that this is okay, because at the end of the day, it's wrong. Like, shameful actions is being like, so I don't even know the word for it, but shameful actions is just kind of out in the air, where bring back shame. We don't have any shame. Um, I said, why are morals and standards called shaming and judgment and hate? I feel like nowadays people are actually shaming people with morals, and shaming people with standards, and shaming people with sense, and shaming people with morality. People are shaming those people because everybody is fraying away. I think, like I said, I don't be trying to get too biblical, but I'm very like endowed with my spirituality, and my beliefs. But I feel like in the Bible it says somewhere like, having all this free reign is very sinful and brings a lot of sinful energy. And I feel that's what it is. We're now in free reign. On one hand, it's like you can't say certain things, right? But then on the other hand, it's like you can say and do whatever you want. So which one is it, right? So if, for example, and this may get me canceled or dragged or whatever, people are shamed, right? Or chastised for speaking out against LGBTQ. And I see nothing wrong with anybody being LGBTQ. I see nothing wrong with that, right? But obviously, it is a taboo if you speak on it and say something negative about anybody in the community or just the community in general, right? But in the same breath, let's just say anybody, somebody from that community, and I don't want to use them as a scapegoat, I'm just using it as an example, does something that is shameful per se, not due to their sexuality, but just due to their character or just doing something bad, right? People will rather sit up here and say, oh, but that person can do what they want, because there's different entities within society that are untouchable, that are literally given passes, right? Whereas you can be a part of, it's almost like if you're a part of, if you're a white person, you can get away with certain stuff, but it's different entities within the world that are given passes. But when you speak against certain things, it's like you're wrong. And I started to notice, I think people are doing this because people are afraid of people being smart and educated. People are afraid of common sense these days. People are afraid of real standards. Like, I really do think that people are afraid of that, because I think when people hold people accountable, when they have to go look inside the mirror, they're not ready to accept the fact that they're either a fucked up individual, they're wrong, they do crazy things, whatever it may be. They're not ready to accept that fact. So I think that's why this whole idea of, oh, we're just going to live and do whatever, and you're shaming this person, you're shaming that person, shame, shame, shame. How many words do we now have that is like shaming? We now have, I mean, we always had like slut shaming, right? But slut shaming, the only thing I honestly really feel like is like really, really wrong, like really, really wrong for people to do, is fat shaming. I think fat shaming is wrong. But people like, it's slut shaming. And I think slut shaming is 50, I'm 50-50 on slut shaming. I'm just be real. But slut shaming, kink shaming, what's the other ones that I've seen in my comments? Just different levels of shaming. I'm just like, huh? Why are we now shaming people for having an opinion on things that are 9 times out of 10 either negative, demoralizing, wrong, idiotic, problematic? Me, I'm a walking thesaurus. I could give you every single word. People literally are always shaming people, right? But at the same time, you're getting called out for actually having a mindset that isn't against, or is against the shit that's actually wrong. And I think that people pick and choose which communities that they can give that to. Hence why I use the example that I gave. I feel like there's like, even as far as like the Kanye West stuff, the Jewish community, you can't speak against the Jews, right? You can't say anything shameful, whether right or wrong, that they did against the Jews. You can't say it about LGBTQ. You can't say it about white people or white supremacists, let alone the government. You can't. But guess where you can do it? Black people, specifically Black women. And it's not even about being race or whatever, but it's just the simple facts of the matter. Like, all of this shame that people are saying that is being casted by me and everybody else. I mean, like, so you mean to tell me somebody's doing something negative, but I'm the hater, I'm the shamer, I'm the negative one, that they're doing the negativity? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So I wanted to even touch on kink shaming. I wrote it down. I think kink shaming is probably the dumbest new age term that I've ever heard, because making a word to, I guess you could say, excuse people not wanting to agree to certain kinks is crazy. Now, that's why I have Chrisean in my thumbnail, because a lot of people came for me, dragging me. basically saying like, oh wow, you are shaming her for her kink, and I don't think you should judge her for her kink, and it's just a kink. Okay, well, let me read y'all the definition of a kink. Kink is a non-conventional sexual practice, concept, or fantasy, right? So the contrast to that is what people was telling me, which what they call straight or vanilla. So your kink may be like you in this case, she likes to get pissed on. But if I don't like to get pissed on, I'm so-called vanilla. First of all, I'm more chocolate. But I think it's very disrespectful and honestly no correlation that everybody in this generation wants to have these extremes. So on one hand, I'm wrong for shaming somebody who likes to get peed on, but the opposite to me being not wanting to get peed on is me saying that I have vanilla sex. No, I'm gonna be real. I've never had bad dick ever, ever, ever. Right? So, and I've had. I think there's a difference of somebody having good dick and good sex. I think there's two different things. However, never had bad dick. In terms of having bad sex, I've had bad sex, but it wasn't because I didn't get pissed on. Okay. And it wasn't because I was vanilla. It just simply because that man could not do what he had to do. So why are we now saying that kink shaming is wrong? We shaming kinks, and the opposite of having this kink is having boring sex. No, there's so many other things that you can do in between that is not vanilla per se, but it's also not getting pissed on. Period. Like that is degrading. I don't care what nobody says. Getting pissed on is degrading. Getting spat on is degrading. Getting shitted on is degrading. So you're telling me if I sat here and I said, oh, I like for a man to shit on me and I like it on my body. I like to rub it on my body. I'm going to rub dookie on my body. You're going to tell me that's not degrading? And you're going to tell me that, well, that's just my kink. Okay. So in that breath, and like I said, I might get dragged for saying this. In that breath, pedophilia can be considered a kink, right? Some people just have a kink for children. It's nasty, right? It's wrong. It's disgusting. You go to jail for it, right? In the same breath, right? Why aren't y'all defending R. Kelly for having his kink of young women, right? Y'all would never do that. And don't tell me, oh, well, it's not the same thing. It is the same thing because that's allegedly his kink, right? Because you know that certain things are wrong and they're degrading and they're, in this case, illegal. The only reason why some people in my opinion, speak against pedophilia is because it's illegal. If it wasn't illegal, y'all be telling me don't knock somebody's kink. Y'all would be sitting here talking about some don't knock R. Kelly's kink. When no, that's disgusting. Okay, that's just nasty. Period. Somebody sent a super chat. I had missed it because I was rambling. Let me go back up there. Hustle Hair Boutique. Okay, Hustle Hair Boutique. This generation is weak. Follow. Scary as hell. So entitled. It's disgusting. Period. Shout out to you, sis. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. You are very right. You are very right. And I'm about to get onto this generation, my next topic. But this generation is very, very follow. And I feel like the whole idea of shaming, but in this case, kink shaming, because that's what we're talking about, like, it makes me think that this generation has no type of like real structure. And I always say, like, I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Right. And then one thing I don't like is like my videos sometimes, like the video I did on Young Miami and Diddy last week or whenever it was, I've been pushing out hella content, got flagged. Like it's demonetized. I posted Monday through Friday last week and Monday through Friday this week. Out of those 10 videos, well, 11, because I gave y'all 2 videos last Friday. But out of those 10 videos, the only one that got demonetized was that video on her, right? So this woman can admit to getting peed on. She can admit to sharing penis publicly. She can admit to all these different things. But when the one reporting on it, my video is getting demonetized. Meanwhile, she has a podcast that is live on Revolt TV YouTube channel right now talking about she likes to get pissed on. Why is that not demonetized? Like, I didn't even say nothing bad in that video, my video. Now, and I'm talking about the one from last week, not the one I just did yesterday about, getting pissed on. So I think that I'm not against people having their kinks, but I do think that I do have the right to label it as degrading or nasty or disgusting. Per se, if you like to eat peanut butter and tuna sandwiches, by all means, eat peanut butter and tuna sandwiches. But I'm still going to think that's nasty, period. Like, period. This generation needs guidance. we need to have a little bit more couth. We don't have none of that. Like, we literally are just all over the place. And it's like, I love the whole free speech thing. I love the whole, breaking generational curses. I love the fact that I feel like this generation is the first generation to challenge tradition. And I think that's great. However, I do think that it's gone overboard for real. Let me read some of y'all's comments though. Let me try to scroll back a little bit. I do shout out to my moderators too. Thank you for y'all that's in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone said, please be a lawyer, Chioma. Before pandemic, I actually applied to my school's law. I think it was the pre-law something. But I actually didn't get in. I was rejected from that. And I think I just kind of like lost the inspiration or motivation to want to be a lawyer. But I think it's a perfect what's it called? Perfect career for me. But I want to do something like that, but like later on in life. Let's see. Someone said, what happened to YouTube being family friendly? They should make sure kids can't access these videos. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody can go watch that video of her podcast with Trina, where she's literally talking about being pissed on, amongst other things. It was actually a good interview. Like, I watched the whole thing. It was a great interview. However, a 11-year-old girl can get on there and watch that, and now she thinks it's cute and sexy and okay to get pissed on. You see what I'm talking about? But somebody like my channel, which, I mean, yeah, you could say I'm harsh, you could say all that, you know what I'm saying? Well, that doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. It never really even hurt my feelings, but my stuff is getting demonetized and shadow banned and whatever, because once they demonetize you, it's like you're getting shadow banned. Like, your video doesn't resonate as much. My stuff can end up like that, and I'm talking, in my opinion, real shit, you know what I'm saying? Or just trying to tell young women, try to be a little bit more either silent about your stuff, or understand that there's a lot there's a lot of side effects that comes with all of these choices that your faves are promoting to you. But my stuff is getting demonetized, but their stuff is on YouTube and for everybody to see. Like, it's crazy. Someone said, but kinks are consensual things. You're right. You're right. And I do think with my example with R. Kelly, yes, that probably wasn't consensual. However, if he would pee on a child, he would pee on a grown woman. So if it's consensual in that way, if y'all can say it's wrong in him in that way, yes, there's a child involved. Yes, I understand. But if that's his kink, right, to be with underage women, and some of those underage women might have consented, even though there's no real consent when you're underage, but just say verbal consent, y'all can't pick and choose when you want to defend kinks that are demoralizing and degrading, because it's one thing to say, I like to get choked during sex. I think that's a perfectly fine kink to have. Some people don't like that shit. Some people do. That to me is more of a kink than I like to get pissed on. That's just my opinion. Let's see. Don't knock it, but also look at the people around him as well. They for sure enabled and allow him to act like that. Heavy on the kink shaming. I was literally dragged on TikTok for saying that age plays kinks and dangerous, even when it's between two consenting adults. Right. Everybody's talking about, oh, it's two adults. Being an adult does not mean that you are completely absolved of anything negative that can come with that. Like, your age does not necessarily absolve you from being demoralized, being disrespected, not having self-esteem. There's no difference, in my opinion. I just feel like the age is literally, in this case, just a number. No pun intended. Someone said we need to bring back class. I definitely agree. Let's see. Someone said, when Carisha randomly posted watching porn on Twitter at 2 p.m., I'm like, okay. You know what I was thinking? I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Pornhub or any porn site came out and said, oh, our kink link or kink tab traffic has gone up 50% ever since she said that shit. Because that's what your influence is going to do, which I'm going to get into my next topic about how these celebrities, like, they're horrible role models anyway. Someone asked the question and said, do you think this generation is the only generation that does things like this, though? Do you think this is something new? Because I've heard of something like that in Biggie's songs, and that was from the 90s. I don't think this generation is the only generation that does this stuff. I think this generation is the only generation that makes it super public and makes it very accessible. I feel like back in the day, there was time and place for everything, whereas if you like to get pissed on, you had your own sector and corridor where that happens. Nowadays, I unwarranted am on social media, minding my business, thinking I'm just on here to get some type of entertainment, and I'm seeing that somebody's saying that she likes to get pissed on. That's unwarranted. I ain't asked to see that. I don't want to know that, you know what I'm saying? But it's in my space, right? It's in my space, to the point where even if I was following no blogs, I can get on Twitter, she's trending on Twitter. I'm still gonna see it. So I just think that because everything is so accessible and you can get to everything so fast these days, and children are the ones that are on social media really consuming the content, and just in general children learn based off of older people's actions and words. We look at the people that's older than us. It's ruining the generation. I feel like Biggie, whenever he did say that, he was an adult, right? And he was in an adult space. Young Miami, on the other hand, you're in an open space because you can't say, okay, well, my podcast is on Revolt. Revolt is posted on YouTube and kids watch YouTube. So yeah. Let me get back to real time and see what some of y'all are saying. Someone said, I love you, Chioma. You are a good person and a good and amazing YouTuber. And I love your YouTube videos, Chioma. You are my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really do. Young Miami doesn't act like she has kids. She really doesn't. And like people said I was mom shaming for saying that, but I don't think it's mom shaming to say, like, look, be cautious of the fact that your kid's gonna have to like reap what you have sown. That's not that's not an attack on her parenting whatsoever. That's an attack on, I guess, being cautious of her kids' perception and her kids' experience in school and through life and whatnot. When you say something that's on the internet for everybody to see, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. That's what y'all gonna say. I don't give a fuck. It's city girls, right? That's what you're gonna say. And it's just like, yo, but you shouldn't give a fuck about the rest of the internet. I'll give you that. Do I have any water? Wow, I ain't bring no water in here. But you shouldn't care what the internet say, but your kids, you should. 1 second while I go get some water. I forgot to bring mine. Actually, yeah, I'll just go get a new one. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Somebody tried to accuse me of being pregnant today. I am not pregnant. Not at all. Like, not at all. Not at all pregnant. No. Mm-mm. I don't even think I would ever make a pregnancy announcement. I'll just pop up with the kid. All right, I needed that. Let me see what else y'all saying. Who was that? 00300 said, shout out to the Black women channels like yours that show a great example to educate young girls to do better. Thank you. I really do appreciate that, because at the end of the day, I've never said that I'm perfect. I'm not better than nobody. The people that I speak about are human beings just like me. They bleed red just like me. They shit just like me. All of these celebrities are no better than anybody. They have more money and more fame. That's it. They're not better people than me, or I'm not better than them. However, I do think that there's not enough young women telling other young women, not necessarily how to live life, but just giving them the opportunity to have the conversations about things that we should be talking about. That's really what this is. People say I'm a hater, so be it. I'll make hater t-shirts and sell them. Let me keep reading. We'll do another Q&A towards the end, because I know some people have questions, but I want to make sure we get our topics going on. Someone said, what grinds my gears are all the made up words. Oh my God, thank you. Yes, all the made up words people use to excuse bad behaviors. I've even heard preparedness shaming from a YouTuber telling people to stock up during inclement weather. Yes, I guess they even call that fear mongering, which, I mean, fear mongering is a real word. Sorry, y'all. But yes, it's all these made up terms. Like, where is y'all getting this shit from? Like, y'all making up this shaming and that. Somebody needs to make a list. I had this in my video notes to do. Just talk about all these new age words that this generation has created to excuse a lot of dumb shit, you know? Someone said, let's normalize keeping this to yourself. The lack of shame is why people overshare. Yeah, when you don't have shame, you overshare. Because there's very embarrassing things that I've dealt with, gone through, whatever, that I'm not necessarily even ashamed of, but I feel like I shouldn't share, you know? It's a part of having that couth that I tell people about. People just don't have the couth anymore. Yeah, I used to think that you read your commentary because of how well you speak, but I now see that you are just a great speaker. No annoying ums or like. I actually do read my commentary though, because I'll go on forever. But yeah, I can speak. This platform has made me so much more of a better speaker, writer, all of that. This platform has given me so much more confidence to just be able to stand in my truth. But just to kind of end off this little segment of bring back shame, I just lastly said, I've already talked about it. Like, I feel like with the whole idea of anti-shaming and bringing back shame, people are being called a hater for challenging narratives that are literally demeaning this generation. And I feel like you have to be such a strong individual these days to have an opinion. You have to be so strong to have an opinion. You have to be so strong to speak in your truth, because there's so many. I never knew that, like, when I would speak my opinion, people would actually come back and be like, bitch, you're a hater. Bitch, shut up. You're ugly. You better hope that this don't happen to you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yo, you have to be so strong to just have your opinion these days, because it's like, really, people will attack you just for having an opinion. And I know, yeah, my delivery isn't the best. I know. But I feel like the reason why it's not the best is because when I used to be like super nice about it, people would really go hard. So I just started saying, like, no, I'm gonna just keep going hard and I'm gonna just tell people what it is. I feel like almost everything that I have said has been proven in like the next month or year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish bad on nobody, but a lot of things that I speak on end up getting proven. Like, if anything happens to Young Miami and Diddy relationship, I could say I told you so, right? But I'm not gonna say that. But even as far as like Brittany Renner, when I did that video talking about her kind of like renouncing her body count and some of the guys that she's been with in her past, like, I had to start it off with the I told you so, because I made so many videos of telling women, hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? You can have sex, you can have casual sex, but hold yourself to a higher standard. Be very quiet about the way how you move. And also, don't encourage other people to fall for the smoke and mirrors of that overt sexualism, because a lot of them girls are sitting in their closet crying at night because they didn't give their body to Tom, Dick, and Harry and got nothing out of it. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm just saying, like, be careful. But you get called shaming for that, you know what I'm saying, or hating. So I just feel like for all the young women, or I mean, there's guys in here too, but for everybody in here, it's, you have to be super strong to be opinionated these days, because this idea of shame and anti-shame and shaming this and that is very high, very, very high. And I think we need to bring back shame. People need to be able to feel kind of disgusted or at least embarrassed, for some of the things that they say and do. I personally feel that, like, the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. Let's move on to my next topic, because topic 1 and 2 is not supposed to be that long. We need to get to topic 3. But my next topic is generational influencers. On this thumbnail, I have Ari Fletcher. I'm not coming for the girl, but she was just relevant enough for me to use. But I wanted to bring up the fact that I feel like within this generation, in terms of influencer culture, and I will be doing a video next week about this, about maybe not next week, but maybe, but maybe not. Just depends on when it hits. But about the death of the influencer, because I feel like influencer culture and influencer marketing is dying. I'll give it until next summer, because I feel like people have caught on to the gimmick of influencers. People have caught on to the fact that influencers are not necessarily people that you follow, but maybe people that you look at. But the side effect of looking at that stuff is what I'm going to get into. But feeling insecure, feeling, over materialistic, feeling like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. On top of that, a lot of these influencers have now opened their mouth, and we've realized that they're not people that we want to follow, and they're not role models, which was my, point number 1, which is influencer culture, or just the generation of influencers. We don't have any more good role models. I don't think so. I feel like the people that are at the pinnacle of success and fame are not good good role models whatsoever. I feel like many young women in particular are being guided by a lot of demoralizing actions, a lot of self-compromising ways, a lot of things that statistically increase stereotypes. I feel like we're all being guided by that, and it's being pushed out through a lot of these influencers. When we now have made the average person a celebrity, people are skipping over the media training, the legal ramifications. They're skipping over a lot of things that real celebrities have to go through, which is, okay, you now work for this company, or you're now employed by Hollywood or the entertainment industry, you have a label, you have this, you have sponsors, right? That's what celebrity culture is. But influencer culture is more or less, individual, average, random people, right, with a following that have a lot more freedom and a lot more free will and free reign to say and do whatever. But those are the people that are so in the media, and there's a lot more hyper focus because I mean it's a little bit more organic. They're like you and I. They're not that much better than me. They're not like an A-lister, but they're not an F-lister. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they might be an F-lister. But those influencers have now consumed the role of role modeling, right? And we have all of these young women, like I said, looking up to these women and just being guided by, like I said, demoralizing actions as well as things that are stereotypically or statistically increasing stereotypes. So another thing that I had put on here is that I think the idea of role models are dead. And when it comes to the social media girls, such like an Ari Fletcher or whatever, like I'm very 50-50 with them because on one hand, I do like what they represent because I mean, I'm an influencer, so I can't like hate all the way. But on the other hand, it's like I don't. I think the parts that I do like is like I'm into the beauty. You know what I'm saying? I like the hairstyles, I like the makeup looks, all that stuff is cute, you know. I'm all for that. The fashion, you know what I'm saying? Fashion could be a little weird. They do be wearing some crazy things. Especially when it comes to the designer, because it's just like sometimes I look at the designer stuff and then I try to go to the designer website to see if they even sell it. And I'm like, are these designers really selling this shit? Or are these girls like make it like thoughtifying these designer clothes? Like it was an outfit that it was a Chanel bodysuit that I think Jada Waiter wore. And I tried to go look for it and I couldn't find it on the website. And I'm just like, well, I mean, maybe it's exclusive. You know, she's upper echelon, so she probably got, you know, people in there. But I'm just like, I don't think the white people, I guess you could say, or just the non-urban side, the black people that are not as urban, are buying and wearing designer in the way that the Instagram models are. Like, I feel like they go and they wear, like, they can get a t-shirt like I'm wearing, University of Toledo, go Rockets. And they just wear it as is. But these Instagram girls, they're making the designer look so tacky. But like I said, I think the half that I like is the beauty and the fashion. And just the fact that they show that glamorous side to like being a girl. Cause I'm super girly girl. I did my makeup before this. This took me like an hour, maybe less. I love pink. Everything around me is pink. You would know that. So I like that. Now, the other half of it that I don't like, and I even wrote it down here, I said, is that not in the sense of morals and standards, but the way how their influence has guided women to be desperate, needy, not self-assured, insecure, materialistic, all these different characteristics. I feel like during the pandemic, people either lost money or came into money. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, was getting unemployment. They weren't working. And so a lot of people had like this, you know, new money. And so they thought they could live like the influencers because it seemed like during the pandemic, the only people that were untouched were like the influencers because people were looking to YouTube and all in social media to consume their time. So those people were still getting paid because their engagement went up because now everybody's on their phone because they can't go out to the club or here, they're standing third, right? So I feel like during the pandemic, a lot of people either came into money or lost money, but a lot of people that did who were on unemployment or finessing the government, because there's a lot of people doing that, literally would go and try to keep up with these Joneses, aka these influencers. And I feel like being that the influencers didn't suffer, you know, people literally were trying to keep up with them for the longest and still are. But I think the change in influencer culture, like I said, I give it until next summer that the idea of influencer is going to be like super duper big. It's the fact that people have realized that they can't keep up with that shit. And they're realizing that a lot of these girls are duds, right? I'm not saying anybody in particular, but just in general. I know the other day I was watching something. I don't even know if these girls are influencers, but it was King Von's sister and some other girl. She looked like she was like a little Instagram model. I don't know. But they got into it. They started fighting. I don't know what their backstory is. But I saw the fight. And I feel like that type of imagery of people who are revered, and a lot of times it is hip hop culture, but just Black media, those are the people that are put on a pinnacle. And they're not role models. And they're literally antagonizing the idea of standards, if we're being real, and antagonizing the idea of what an influencer is supposed to be. I feel like back in the day on YouTube, influencers were so successful because yes, they were average people just like you or I. However, they were relatable. And that's what set them apart. Nowadays, I don't think these girls are relatable. I really can't relate to Ari Fletcher. Like I really can't. I can't because there's I she be wearing when I watched that Impact show, she had on like designer sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? I have a pair of designer sunglasses that I think somebody got for me, but like my average day-to-day life, let alone everybody else, is not to go get designer sunglasses. The most designer I have is purses, and that's just about it. I don't think I own designer shirt, jeans, nothing. Somebody's calling me. It's my dad. Let me tell him I'm on live. Just gotta let my daddy know. Oh shoot, the Eagles is playing. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap this live up. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. Like I said, I feel like the girls that are the pinnacle of like the beauty and the it girls, like I talked about this week, like I personally feel like that stuff is so unattainable. And there's a lot of girls chasing this imagery of perfection. And I think the reason why we went from the black girl luxury era to this soft girl era that we're now in, right? Is because people are now realizing that they can't keep up with that shit. Meanwhile, back in the day, like I was saying on YouTube, all those girls were very genuine. They were very much like relatable. They were giving us tips on beauty. They were showing us, good reviews on beauty supply store hair. Now it's like if you don't have a wig from Wig Dealer or from all these different like high-end places, you're a bum bitch. That's how they make you feel. And I feel like a lot of influencers get off on making their followers lust after them and envy them and put that elitist mentality up. And I think a lot of girls are eating into it. And that's why we have a lot of mental health issues. That's why we have a lot of girls that are like, oh, well, I'm suffering from self-confidence and self-image problems because, I'm looking at this girl and this girl and this girl, and I want to be that because I'm trying to manifest this and I'm trying to keep up with this. Whole time though, it's completely irregular. You know what I'm saying? Whole time though, these girls shouldn't be your role models. Now, on the sense of like who they are, I don't think any one of them ever said that they wanted to be a role model. Like even as far as like when I watched the Young Miami, Carisha, and Trina interview, they talked about role models. And Trina talked about some real shit. She was like, I don't like the term role model because I never signed up for that. And I agree because I could be somebody's role model, but I'm not signing up for that. But I get it. But I feel like if you have any level of influence, you do kind of have a little bit of an obligation to at least regulate your fan base and regulate your influence because yeah, you're not a role model, you never signed up for it, but it comes with the territory that people are going to want to follow you and want to be like you, right? So I kind of just feel like you kind of have to regulate that. And with all the stuff that I've been seeing put out by a lot of these influencers, and then I see how much people are soaking it up, it concerns the fuck out of me because I'm like, yo, seriously? Like, this is what people are looking up to. Like, am I a hater for real? Or am I looking at it as somebody who understands, like, all right, there's good and bad to what they're doing, or there's highs and lows to what they're saying, or there's a side effect to what they're promoting, right? I think reason why I am, I guess, judgmental is because I question everything, right? I question everything I've ever consumed. I always want to know more. So when I start looking at all the ups and downs, ins and outs, of everything, it's like, okay, yeah, she might be coming off too harsh, but it's really because I'm trying to question everything. So when I see, that the top girls in 2023 as of now are women who I feel like don't really give, it confuses me because growing up, we had role models. I love Raven Simone, right? I think she just came out of there. It was Raven Simone since Simone. She was trying to say something. I'm like, girl, please. But I loved Raven Simone. Like, I think she was like the perfect it girl. I found myself listening to the Cheetah Girls whole album. They don't have their first album on Apple Music for whatever reason, but I went on YouTube and I was listening to the Cheetah Girls like all their music. And I'm like, wow, it took me back. Cause I'm like, this was at a time where the role models were people that you really wanted to look up to, right? That actually set a standard. And even if they did bad things or had mishaps, it wasn't plastered. And if it was plastered, they had shame, right? They had shame. Bring me back to point number one. They had the shame to say, hi, I'm going to come out and apologize. And, I'm going to tell people don't follow my footsteps. There's an interview that Lil Kim, I love Lil Kim, that Lil Kim did. I don't know if it was with Oprah. I would have to look on YouTube. There was an interview that she did, and It was I think like a 12-year-old or 14-year-old girl, and she was basically like, we love you, little Kim, blah blah blah. And little Kim came back and said, please don't, you can listen to my music, you can like my fashion, but don't be sexually active at the age of 14. Don't take all of my lyrics to a certain validity. Don't take all of my lyrics and internalize them. And to me, that's exactly how somebody is that has real role model influence should be regulating their influence. But nowadays, these girls literally say, I don't give a fuck. Y'all bitches broke. I'm better than y'all. Y'all some bum bitches. You're a loser if you don't like me. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. You promoting the worst shit. Like, you're literally gaslighting your fan base to love you for your bullshit instead of you telling them like, hey, yes, I made a mistake, or because nobody's perfect, right? I made a mistake, or I did this, I said this, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Or let me be accountable. And accountability is all I ask for with a lot of people. Like, I know someday I'm gonna eat my words on YouTube. I know, because and maybe 5 years from now, I'm gonna be 30, right? And I'm gonna be in a different mindset than I am today at 25, because I was at a different mindset when I started doing commentary 5 years ago in 2018. I was ruthless back then. Somebody commented the other day, was like, yo, you used to drag the fuck out of people. I'm like, yeah, until I grew up. And I went through a lot more life experiences, and I realized, okay, Chama, like, maybe you're being a little bit too harsh. So when people tell me I'm harsh now, I'm like, well, shit, I used to drag the hell out of people. So, I ain't, this mid to me, but whatever. So I look at all of these role models per se. I'm just like, who are the role models though? Like, who are the role models for the urban Black community right about now? Who are the role models for real? And because there's so much focused on the whole idea of the it girl and vanity and luxury and materialism and hip hop culture. That's what people are looking at. That's what young teens and kids are looking at. Those of us that's 18 and high, I mean, I think 18 is still young. I would say, like, honestly, I think college age and younger is 22 and under. I feel like that's when you're still not that much of an adult. But at 23, to me, is when you really start to kind of start thinking like, okay. But I feel like for those people, those kids that are between like the ages of 10 to 22, right? Those are the ones that mainly are looking up at that stuff. And they don't realize how to decipher it. Cause I was just there. Some of y'all are forgetting I was in college 3 years ago, right? I was doing shit, you gotta read the book when it come out, but I was doing the dumbest shit. And like, when it came to the guy I dated, like, I'm gonna have to tell my story one day. It's not going to be in the book. I got to be like so established if I ever tell my business. But we went through some shit. And it was a lot of dumb, like just putting up with him lying, cheating, fucking off. I get mad at you. I block you for 3 days. Now we back cool. Like, I was just there. I was just there. So when I speak on this stuff, it's not like, bro, I'm hating on you. I'm trying to tell girls that nobody's perfect, right? None of these media girls are perfect. But when you put them on a pedestal to make them perfect, you're also excusing their imperfections, but nobody's perfect. So don't do that. Understand that these women are living a fantasy and you're looking at them in fantasy, but you don't always see all the stuff that goes behind the scenes with their entire life, right? And for me, when I feel like I'm a peer to all of these girls, because I mean, at some point I was 15 looking up to the girls that was 25, right? At some point, Raven Simone is way older than me. So when I was watching That's a Raven, I was a kid, but she's older than me. So I'm looking up to her. Now I'm at the age where the teenagers are looking up to the people in their 20s, right? Because for whatever reason, people think 30 is old, which is dumb. But now I'm at that age where, like, yeah, when you're like 23 to like, I guess 29, people are really looking up to you whether you're a teenager, a kid, or a young adult, a college age student or whatever. They're really looking up to you. So now I'm at that age and I'm making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. And I feel like instead of people to use their platforms to say, hey, yes, I have all these luxuries, I have all of this money, I have all of this relationship, I have all of this. However, behind the glitz and the glam, this is some of my real shit. Let me teach y'all and put y'all on game. It's being excused as, well, let people do what they want, or you're just a hater. No, I don't hate on no. I don't envy that. Like, no offense to them bitches. And I have to just be real. This is how I talk. I don't envy that shit. I don't envy being, a single parent to a rapper who's going to keep cheating on me. I don't envy that. I don't envy feeling like I have to plump my lip or make my nose smaller or get Kai Bella to dissolve my chin fat or shave down my teeth or whatever, just so that I can get attention or be seen as the pinnacle of beauty or get attention from guys who's still gonna go fuck a regular looking girl anyway. I don't envy that. I don't envy that. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing for me to hate on. I really do not envy that. Like, I don't envy everybody being in my business because I put everything out there for people to see and now they're using it against me. I don't envy that. I really don't. I don't envy the fact that my life is so public that when I do have my moments of insecurity or unsurety, that a word? Uncertainty, I think is what I meant to say, or just the days where I don't feel my best, that there's still gonna be people attacking me. I don't envy that. I don't envy that. I do not envy that. What I do envy is the fact that I don't even think this is me even envying it, but what does make me upset, what does grind my gears is the fact that a lot of these girls have painted themselves as perfect. And I'm here to tell you nobody's perfect. I'm the same peer age as the girls, and I know what I deal with in my life, and I know the lessons that I'm still learning, and I know how everything has made me look at, like, my young adult life has made me look at these girls and say, ain't no way you perfect. And I don't have to call you out for it, right? I might. I don't have to call you out for it. But at the same time, I know you're not perfect. So why are you feeding your subscribers or your fans shit and calling it sugar? You're not better than nobody. And I'm not saying this to hate. I'm just saying, like, yo, all of them girls that you're putting on a pinnacle or putting on a pedestal as the pinnacle of success and beauty deal with real shit. And I do think that everybody that has influence has some type of obligation, whether it's morally or just you want to do it, to regulate your influence. You don't have to share everything, and you don't have to like be a role model or present yourself as this role model. But when you see a narrative that's getting out of hand, speak on that shit. Tell the girls, like, yo, don't follow my footsteps. Because I'll be the first person to tell y'all, don't do what I did 3 years ago and put up with a nigga shit, right? I'm over here dating a man who really wasn't for me, like, in any regard. Don't put up with that shit. Period. I had my overtly sexual phase too when I was very young. And I think I was like in college, but I remember being a teenager and being overtly sexual because I was looking at Tumblr and I was seeing like people like I guess like I used to, follow India Westbrooks on Tumblr and people like that. I used to look at that stuff and think that that was cool, but nobody was telling me. I never had no role models in my life ever. So no older sister or even older cousin or nobody was ever telling me like, yo, Chioma, this is the side effects that comes with those choices. So when you flaunt it, just know that there's going to be men that lust after you. So for a lot of my like young adult life per se, I feel like I was being lusted after by men because I showcased myself in certain lights. And I'm not saying I'm holier than thou now. Like, come on now. Y'all saw what I wore on my ballin' music video. You feel me? But I'm just saying, know what comes, that all of this comes with the territory, and with that territory is other territory. And I feel like we don't have good role models anymore. And it's not even about, like I said, the morals or the standards or whatever. It's just simply the fact that they're guiding women to believe a false fantasy. And I just don't think that's what an influencer was ever supposed to be. I think that people need to live in reality a little bit more. And we're living in fantasy. Social media is not real. And I hate it here. I'll forever say I don't like this generation, but hey, I'm stuck in it. All right. Let me read some of y'all comments on this, and then we'll get into our last topic. I set a timer. What are we at? Did I even set the timer? I ain't even set the timer, y'all. I put it up and then never pressed hit. But let me go down. Y'all gonna get me a little bit longer tonight, I guess, because I never set the timer. Let me set the timer, drink some water, and then okay, let me see what some of y'all said to that, and then we'll move into our last topic, which is Chrisean Rock announcing that she's pregnant, and my thoughts. Let me see, just scrolling back up a little bit. Sorry if I missed your comment again, but someone said, just got here. Chioma hair is so cute. I know the content of what she's saying is bomb too, but her hair got my full attention. Thank y'all. I got this done in Nigeria. Just some knotless braids. I'm gonna be wearing braids for a while. I haven't worn a wig in so long, and I don't think I'll be wearing wigs anymore. I'm either just gonna do braids or just full sew-ins because I think it's wigs that is ripping out our edges and honestly being strung on these girls' heads so tight that they just dumb now. Um Facts. Why would anyone envy a single parent baby mom to a rapper that pays them nuts? Yeah, I don't envy that at all. Like I never want that to be my reality. They wear low self-esteem like it's a badge of honor, girls. Shame, shame, shame. A lot of them do. And like when I be calling them out, it's more or less to say, like, yo, be real with yourself. Because I'm a young woman just like you. And I know for a fact that it's not always glitz and glam. I have been dumb for dick. Okay. So I can judge you for it, right? But I ain't about to sit here and like make you seem like you're weird. You're weird for putting up with that shit, yeah, but everybody has their magic number. It took me a long time to like divest from that dumb for dick stage. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me forever. I'm being real for me to just be like, all right, Chama, you gotta just let this shit go. Like it's not serving you no purpose. Hence my celibacy. But yeah, it's just like a lot of stuff is not enviable enough. So the fact that they're plastered, I just feel like that's why I think influencer culture is by next summer is over with. Because I think a lot of people have caught on to the gimmick and people are starting to realize these girls ain't better than nobody. They just like us, just with more followers. Um, I'm 36 and I love listening to your commentary. Thank you so much. See, I love when people come in here and they say stuff like, you know, I'm older than you, and but I do take stuff away from you, or I like that you're a breath of fresh air, because I do find it hard for me to make friends because a lot of the people that are in my age range just don't think like me. Like it's very hard for me to surround. I haven't been able to surround myself with a group of women that even want to talk about this type of stuff. Like a lot of my friends, I'm not gonna lie, they're my friends. Don't get me wrong, but they promote the same bullshit that's on social media because they're just consumed by it. But I've been on the internet since I was 10, and I've been like, you know, looking at the internet since I was 10, going through the internet, Tumblr. I've had a Tumblr, all that stuff since I was like in 7th grade. I've been making YouTube videos since I was 17. That was 2014. It's 2023. It's been a long time I've been doing this. I've seen a lot. So most of the stuff that I talk about is literally from experience. Someone said your makeup is so pretty. Thank you guys. I really do basic makeup now. I put on eyeliner, kind of. These lashes, these are the only lashes I wear now. These were my last pair. I'm gonna order some tomorrow. They're very cheap on Amazon or affordable. I'm talking these are the best lashes ever, and they're very affordable. I'll post it to my community tab one of these days. Oh, y'all saying make a makeup video. I guess I haven't done that in a while, but I'm down for that. Right. Oh, hey Sue. Hey Sue. Didn't know you were in here. I just seen your comment. Okay, makeup video. Y'all want to make a video? Yeah, we could do that because my makeup is so simple. So we could do this. Only hang with people who vibrate high. Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, where can I find the 25-year-old girls that, yes, we like to get lit, we like to be cute, we like to be, you know, bossed up, we like to be bad bitches, but at the same time, like, we have couth, we have standards, we have morals, we have class. Like, I feel like what I am is that gray area, and there's no gray area. People just want me to be like a convent, a nun of the convent of the Catholic Church. I'm like, no, I have a life and I have a personality, and I do like to have fun. But my definition of fun and entertainment and what brings me high vibrations is not the stuff that most of the girls my age are into. So I hate it here. Like I said, I hate it here. Someone said you may need older friends. And you know what? The older friends that I do have are the ones that are keeping my head on straight. You're right. I've been pursuing you know, this journey of hanging around or surrounding myself with better representation for my interest. So I think the more I just focus on that and not necessarily make it a priority, but just allow myself to be in those spaces, it'll come around because I can't. I don't even like going to the club because it's just like, okay, I went to the club with my cousins, right? Back in November. It was like 10 deep. And I had on my little Pink Panther, pretty pink pulsing, piping hot punishing, put it on a pedestal pussy outfit. I had on this pink bodysuit. I don't even remember where I got it from, but it was a pink bodysuit. I was looking cool. I had on like a denim jacket. You know me, I like to be shaded up. Gucci bag, I had on some Uggs. Like that's my swag. And so, you know, I be working out. My booty kind of fit. I come out the bathroom, right? Why this girl grabs me and was like, she starts twerking next to me, right? And I guess because you know my body was bodying, she just assumed that I was down to come to her section where her and these niggas, right? And get to twerking. So they in there shaking ass. And I'm like not even against stuff like that per se. I just think it's a time and place for everything. The club is where you shake your ass though, right? And I'm like, yo, you just automatically assumed that I was down for it. She was gassing me up. She was grabbing me. The niggas in the section, like, damn. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little drunk. That's what happens when you go to the club with Nigerians. My cousins is all alcoholics. I tell them that all the time. You guys have too much turn up. And so I'm just trying to dance and vibe because I wasn't trying to be stuck up, you know what I'm saying? But like eventually I had to like skedaddle my way out the section because I'm like, all them girls in there was just turned, they just grabbed, I felt so attacked, like they just grabbed me out the bathroom. So I'm in there just trying to like turn up with them for like a little 30 seconds before I slid to my section because you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get a section. And it was just crazy because it just hit me like, yo, the people my age, they do things that I don't really care to do anymore. But it's not that I'm against it, it's that I've already done it before. I went to college for 5 years. I done did my level of turn up. I done did the parties. I had a full college experience. So yeah, I need, maybe you guys are right. Hang around some people that's a little bit older because I think I think I would think 25 is old and mature enough to just be like a little bit like refined where you don't want to do the same things you were doing at 21. But hey, these girls is 30 still kicking it. So I guess, you know what I'm saying? I was in the club though, so you know what I'm saying? It was the club, but you know, I was definitely kidnapped for a little second there. And that's why you don't go to the bathroom by yourself. I don't know what possessed me to go to the bathroom by myself. I never do that, but I just really had to go right then and there. And that's, you know what I'm saying, liquid courage. Let's move into our third and final story. I believe I have 27 more minutes that I'm going to give, which is Eagles doing their thing. Hold on, y'all. Let me check the score real quick. Let me check the score. It's the playoffs. This the playoffs. I told you I'm a Philly fan. I don't miss a game. I don't even know why I missed the game. Okay, yeah, we doing our thing. We doing our thing. All right, I could catch the second half. It's about okay. Yeah, I'll tune back in. We doing our thing. We doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? This is for the chip. We gotta go back to the Super Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going. If Philly wins, I'm going to the parade. You'll see me there for sure. I'm definitely going to the parade if we win the chip. But okay, so let's move into our third and final topic, which is Chrisean Rock announcing that she's pregnant. Now, as y'all know, I dropped the video yesterday, was the compilation video, and my first story, my first story was about Chrisean. For the most part, a lot of people like agree with what I had to say, but as always, I did catch a little bit of flack because people were saying things like, "Oh, well, how you gonna blame her when you know Blueface is this and that?" Excuse me, I just choked. Let me drink some water. That just hit me. Okay, yeah, I need some water. Sorry about that. But yeah, people were like, you know, how you gonna say this and that? I'm over giving her excuses. I already had my this is my thing. I already had my empathy for the girl a long time ago. You're not going to keep getting empathy out of me. Like I'm grown, babe. We're not gonna sit up here and keep giving a 22-year-old, 23-year-old woman empathy. I think she's gonna be 23, 24, whatever. We're not gonna keep giving you that because I'm sorry, you're not 13. Okay, you're not a kid. So I do believe that Blueface gaslights her, provokes her, triggers her. I'm never going to absolve that man from the things that he does because at the end of the day, I mean, he's the one that's using her the most. She's the star per se, but he's the one that had star power, but she's really the star. And so I think he does provoke her. I think he does set her off, and I do believe that he pushes the buttons. And I felt like the interviewer in that podcast was also like trying to be funny. Like the interview was saying stuff like just talking to her mad weird, you know what I'm saying? But that notwithstanding, I posted that video. I said my piece. I said that, you know, I don't think that I think she's burned all her bridges. There was another clip that I saw today when I finally woke up and looked at all this stuff. And I guess during the Crazy in Love show that she has on Zeus Network with her and Blueface, you know, her manager, which is really Blueface's manager, Whack 100, was saying like, yo, I'm getting calls and people are literally not trying to work with you or Blueface because of all the antics that you guys have going on. And she didn't care. So I'm like, all right, well, if you want to burn your bridges, burn your bridges. I don't know why anybody asked me to have empathy or give the girl excuses, but she's grown, right? So today we wake up, or I guess last night, this was after I posted my video. I usually fall asleep after my videos because I'm still a little bit jet lagged from being in Nigeria. But I come back on the internet and literally the girl announces she's pregnant. She got 3 pregnancy tests up there. They all positive. Girl got a clear blue, a clear, pretty pink, pulsing, popping hot, put it on a pedestal, pussy with the P. And she had a first response. My first response was, oh, hell no. Nah. Like, it was like a astonishing, like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, did she really just announce that she's pregnant? Like, what? So I think my thoughts are the same as pretty much everybody else. I think that there's a lot of people, there's some people trying to say that, well, a baby will slow her down, but I just feel like a baby shouldn't be the reason why you calm down. That to me is scary to say that a child's well-being and a child's life is in the hands of a woman who is clearly unstable and in a situation that's clearly very, very, very bad. I think that's like horrible for people to say, well, the baby might slow her. No. It might, but it also might not. And then you end up with an infant mortality rate that's growing and growing and growing because you have young mothers who are not stable, who are not mentally there, who can't take care of a child, even if they have the money. And they're inflicting all of their pain and their trauma onto their children. And then boom. And let's not forget, Chrisean likes to drink, right? So she was drinking in her podcast interview, but just said that she's pregnant. What about what is it called when the baby ingests the alcohol that you're drinking? I learned about it in like 8th grade or whatever. Somebody tell me what that is when the baby gets the alcohol you're drinking, right? Things of that nature. Yeah, somebody said it, fetal alcohol syndrome. Yes, that's it. On top of that, she's a very aggressive girl. Shaken baby syndrome, that too, right? All of that stuff is very, very possible for somebody that is not literally that's literally insane, right? So no, I don't think the whole like, oh well, the baby could calm her down argument is fair to say, because in my personal opinion, it's scary to think that the livelihood of this child is in the hands of a toxic situation and a mother who potentially could cause more harm not only to herself but her child as well. I would hope, of course, that the baby would calm her down or she would, not act like that. But I feel like based off of precedent and based off of what we have seen, how likely is that? You know what I'm saying? My overall opinion is that I think that part of me feels like this might be for clout. Part of me, like maybe 20% of me. But the other 80% does believe her in the fact that she kept, like she said, getting abortions, and she didn't want to keep getting abortions. That's the reason why she's keeping this baby. To me, that's a horrible reason. It's horrible because now you're saying like, well, I was been getting abortions. I've been putting my body through that. And I don't think abortion is no joke. Like people be like thinking it's a walk in the park. It's no joke. So the way how it's talked about, like, again, when I'm going back to the role models, this is somebody who's put up right now in the media, and she's just so openly making it seem like, well, I got this abortion, this and that. I'm not against abortion at all, right? But I got so many abortions for this man that the only reason why I'm keeping this child is because I don't want to keep getting abortions. That's horrible. If you didn't want to keep getting abortions, strap up. If you didn't want to keep getting abortions, get on birth control. I'm not saying that all that stuff is 100%, but your chances of not getting pregnant are now higher because you're doing something about it. But no, this generation is so sexualized. It's another thing I should have talked about, how easy sex is. Sex is an emotional and spiritual thing. And I don't want anybody to tell me that it's not. I know somebody tried to comment on my page the other day and said like soul ties is not a thing. I disagree. I feel like sex is a spiritual connection, and people become one when they're engaged in sex. I do believe that. And I do believe soul ties is real, because if you spiritually connect with somebody in that way, literally you're going to feel like you're tied to that person. That's why you have a lot of people that can't divest from toxic situations. Sometimes it's not the fact that you're getting beat on. It's not the times that you're getting pissed on per se. Sometimes it's not the fact that you're getting called out your name. Sometimes it's not the fact that you are being degraded anyway. It's the fact that you have a sexual connection to somebody, and that shit is strong. Soul ties is real. So don't let anybody tell you that, like, oh, well, that's not real. A lot of the problem that Chrisean and Blueface has is the fact that they're both sexually enamored with each other. You know what I'm saying? A lot of their relationship is based off of that. And a lot of people use sex as a band-aid to fix relationships that are toxic. How many times have you gotten makeup dick, right? My ex used to do this in college. Like, we would get mad, block each other, all that stuff. Right now, I'm going to his apartment, right? And he's trying to apologize to me. And now all of a sudden that apology becomes kissing on my neck. And that kissing on my neck becomes kissing on my lips. And kiss on my neck gets kissing on my pretty pink pulsing, popping hot, punishing, put it on a pedestal pussy. That's how that shit happens, right? And now I feel like, oh, I'm releasing myself of this anger and this stress and this turmoil that I have for my boyfriend or whomever in this situation. And the sex is a bandage that's helping me get over some shit, when whole time though it's a band-aid. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fix. It's just mulling over the issue that's still present. So don't let anybody tell you that sex is not some type of spiritual connection, because if it wasn't, and you could just shake it off, and you can and both men and women can just go their separate ways, we would, but we don't. Okay, we that it means a lot in a lot of relationships. Hence why, if we want to get biblical, I know not everybody here is like that much of a believer, but I am. I can't suppress it. But if we want to get biblical, the reason why God has set up for sex to be for two married people is because when you marry, you become one. So that action of becoming one within sex is supposed to be for that. But we live in a world where we sin, right? We live in a world where it's overt sexualism. So of course, not everybody follows that. Hell, I haven't even followed that, for being real. Everybody has the past, but that's really why that is said to be. So moving back into Chrisean, it's like, okay, so sis, now you're pregnant. Now she's jumping and skipping and gavilanting and hopscotching, double dutching and shit throughout the medical facility, happy as shit. But it's just like, yo, you was just on the ground throwing a tantrum the day before over this same man. And now your whole body's gonna change, your life is gonna change. You be drunk off of Hennessy, so you can't drink, right? So now you're gonna have to be sober and deal with your sober thoughts, as well as dealing with the drama that comes with this man, all while carrying a child. Hell nah. Hell nah. Hell nah. Like it's like scary to me. Like, it's so scary to me that, like, okay, now this is our youth, right? This is what's being posted on the Shade Room and the Hollywood Unlocked. Every other day they're on Hollywood Unlocked, right? This is what they're posting every single everywhere. And this is what these 15-year-old kids who are in the 10th grade right now are sitting in free period right now, getting on their TikTok and seeing. They don't have a Queen Chioma to tell them, like, hey, yeah, I know you see that on social media, but just understand, I know you're seeing this, but this also comes with this. Because a lot of kids don't like to listen to older people. But guess what? The most influential group of people are people in their 20s, right? People in their 20s. People, myself, Chrisean, Blueface just turned 26. I didn't even know me and him was the same age. I didn't or born the same year. I'm turning 26 this year. Didn't even know. I thought the man was way older than me. I'm like, damn, nigga, you a hard 26. I ain't gonna lie. I said, damn, bro, you looking. Shut up, Chioma. But yeah, so I'm like, damn, like, these kids aren't being told, like, okay, the people that you hold to a certain caliber, their lives are not to be emulated, because look at all the shit that's going to come with Chrisean having a baby. But who knows that? Those of us that are a little bit older, who have lived life a little bit more, or just are in the part of their lives where we're starting to realize all of these things. But these teenagers don't know that. You think at 15, I knew that having a baby at a young age with my boyfriend, who may or may not last forever, was a bad thing? I didn't know that. Like, the only reason I probably never got pregnant in high school or something, I mean, I had like strict parents and all, but the only reason why, and they put that fear into me, is because my parents put the fear into me, like, you better not. But for a lot of young Black girls, that's their reality, because they don't have no guidance to tell them, like, you should probably wait, or you should probably find a better situation. Even if you don't want to get married, even though I think I'm going to promote marriage on my channel, but even if you don't want to get married, vet out a better partner. So Chrisean is now feeling all gassed up because now she's pregnant and now she got to have permanent ties to Blueface. But it's like, yo, did you even consider the fact that you about to be a man's second baby mama? You about to be his third, like with his third kid. She out here hoping for twins and shit. And it's like, are you considering the fact that this nigga just got up on you on Twitter and said that the baby wasn't even his? You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. And then she had the nerve to say, oh, well, if you don't want to claim my child or something along the lines like that, then that's fine. I'm gonna just tell my baby that you died. That's not right. Like that no. You're not gonna tell your child that they don't have a father, right? And then so now they have to grow up just like you. I thought the whole point of Chrisean's rock story, and I feel like she be gaslighting. I don't care. It was, oh, I came from this horrible background. I'm from Baltimore, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I had a bad family. My dad was abusive, da, da, da. And, I'm just trying to get money so I could do better for myself. That's how she got all of y'all to fall for, her sympathy. But now I feel like, okay, well, we're trying to cheer you on, or at least we were. And we gave you this platform to do better. But look how you spit in everybody's face. You're not getting any better. You're not trying to elevate yourself. You're not trying to do better. I don't think a child is the answer to their situation. And I'm very, very like scared for not only the child, but even for her. Like, I still have a level of sympathy. I ain't that cold-hearted. You feel me? I don't believe in the whole zodiac thing, but they do say us cancers have sympathy and we're emotional. So, I do have a little sympathy there, but it's like, how much more can I give a girl who does not want to help herself? You know what I'm saying? The old saying is, you take a horse to the water, you can't force her to drink. I can't force her to wake up and smell the coffee. And a child shouldn't be either. She should want to do it for herself. Your baby daddy is already posting the fact that that's not his kid. She done been with 10 other niggas. Yeah, bullshit. I don't believe you, nigga. I don't believe that she's been with 10 other niggas. Your dumb ass was sitting up here nutting in the girl. So how you not going to turn around and say that she done been with 10 other guys? Bro, you publicly claim this girl. Like, don't be dumb. I think Blueface, I don't know what's Blueface's problem, though. I don't know, because I feel like Blueface is so manipulative that he's the type, he kind of remind me of my ex, but my ex wasn't that bad. But Blueface is the kind of guy, right? And he's so much of a narcissist that he will literally gaslight not just Chrisean, but her fan base as well as social media to believe that he's so laid back and he's so nonchalant and he's low-key a victim, and it's Chrisean that's out here that's just tripping. No, you be setting that girl off, because all I saw from them tweets was him trying to provoke her to be mad, and she fell for the bait like she does every time. Of course, any woman, I don't care if it's Chrisean or myself, any woman is going to be mad if you don't claim their child that they're pregnant with. Any girl would be mad at that. If I got pregnant tonight, knock on wood, God forbid, but if I got pregnant tonight and my baby daddy is like, yeah, that's not my baby, you done been with 10 other niggas, yeah, I might have to call my cousins, honestly. I might have to call my cousins, because it's like, who's you talking to? If you publicly claiming me, I have a sex video out with you, and the sex video, they was not using protection, so we're having raw sex. The chance of you to be the father is there. How dare you get up on Beyonce internet and say that that's not your baby? Stop gaslighting that girl. And I feel like that right there is already showing us the dynamic of how this situation is about to go. Like I said, 20% of me feels like this might be, a gimmick. But once that baby bump starts showing, we're going to know for sure. And I just don't want that baby to be the reason why she changes or not. Like, I would hope that the baby makes her different, but I feel like they both play on the empathy card. I think they're playing on the empathy card. Chrisean looks for sympathy and empathy, and so does Blueface, because they realize that they're going to shock the internet again and again and again, and then they're going to reel the internet's attention back in by getting empathy, because people want their situation to get better. So they went from, oh, we're going to shock you guys by doing all this crazy shit, right? And then we're going to make this TV show and make you guys even more invested in us and get money off of this. And now they're at the third of four stages, this third stage of, oh, we're going to try and get empathy because, now people want us to get better and get therapy and do this stuff. People feel bad for us. And then that fourth stage is whether or not they make it out of still having a fan base after everything that they've done. And like I said, we're living in Generation Z, and the Z stands for stupid, very dumb, right? And these dumb kids literally are still going to pay attention to these people and still gas them up and still hype them up, even though they don't deserve that. They really don't deserve that. All in all, I'm gonna still wish the girl the best, because at the end of the day, like, I just don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But everything that she's done, from the belligerent actions, how she acts on baddies, her tooth being knocked out, the tattoos of Blueface all over her body. I don't know if this is like, what's the word that they call it in the industry? Humiliation ritual. I don't know if that's what I'm witnessing. And side note, I feel like Young Miami might be going through humiliation ritual, because, she just been playing herself for months. But, I don't know if this is humiliation ritual of some sort or what, but it's like, if this is what it means to be famous or in the industry, y'all can have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come for me sometimes and they say stuff like, well, how do you expect to be a rapper in the industry if you talk about these people? The same way these people talk shit about crazy stuff and they still getting promoted for doing the dumbest shit. That's the same way. You feel me? I'm an acquired taste. I'll be real enough to say, not everybody's going to like Queen Chioma and what comes out of her mouth. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, it takes a strong person to be opinionated these days. So my fan base is for the people that like to be real and keep it real, right? But you have way worse role models and people doing way worse things that are literally in front of your face. So people like to guess like me, like, oh, well, how you expect? Bitch, I got talent. Shut up. Anyway, I want to end off with saying this about the Chrisean situation. I think so let's say this pregnancy goes full term and she's able to have a baby. I don't think the story stops. Unfortunately, I don't think the delusion, the dysfunction, I don't think that stuff stops. I don't think that I don't think there's going to be some type of halt or yield or whatever to their situation. I think it only gets worse until it gets better. Right? They say that this is even the calm before the storm, because she's playing it like, oh, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. It's whatever. But I feel like a lot of young women say that, right? A lot of young women say stuff like, I don't need a nigga. Fuck my baby daddy. If he doesn't want to be in the baby's life, fuck him. It'll be okay. I'll be all right. Right? Until that baby comes and you realize how much support that you need. And Chrisean has burned bridges with her family, even though her family definitely, from the clips that I've seen, I think they're just as bad. But she's burned bridges with her family. She's burned bridges with her fan base. She's burned bridges with a lot of people. I think people are actually scared to work with her, because from watching Baddie South reunion, and I wanted to get the Baddie South review. I didn't know Baddie South was coming out tomorrow, or Baddie's West was coming out tomorrow. I don't know if I could do the Baddie South review, but I'll try. On the reunion, she was just belligerent. You know what I'm saying? Belligerent. Like, didn't let nobody talk. And I didn't even like Persuasion in the show like that. But I feel like Persuasion was justified when she was trying to get her words out. Chrisean wouldn't let her talk. All Chrisean does is, my thing is, when I see Chrisean, if we all sitting down on the couch and she stand up, I'm standing up. I don't know why them dumb bitches was sitting there knowing this girl is gonna hit you from standing up and hit you. Like, just stand up, get up. But she's burned bridges with just about everybody, and I feel like a lot of people are over it. And I think this is the calm before the storm. And I hate to say that, because a child is about to be involved in this situation, but I feel like everybody's support and well wishes and prayers and suggestions for her has fallen on deaf ears. And like I said, you can lead a horse to the water, you can't force it to drink. So until she can force herself to drink, we just gonna get exactly what she's been giving us. And I really hope that it works out for her, but I just don't see it. I'm not trying to be negative, but I just don't see it. I really don't. So that's how I feel about Chrisean. How many more minutes? We have 6 minutes left. Somebody sent a super chat earlier. I was just in the midst of my thoughts, so I had missed it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if it'll let me go back that far, but to the person that sent that super chat, thank you. I did see it, but it won't let me scroll that fast. So I really appreciate that. So these last 6 minutes, if y'all wanted to add anything per se to the conversation, we can talk about a little bit more. And then, like I said, the last I guess 5 to 10 minutes, we'll do my last little Q&A, and then we can just get out here on this Saturday night. Gotta watch my Eagles. I need to see what's my score. What's the score? Okay, yep, we back. We still up. We still up. We still up. I gotta watch my game after this, y'all. I haven't missed a game all season. Let's see. Someone said Natalie Nunn neck got so thick. I don't know. Is it just me? I can't stand Natalie Nunn. I don't like her. Like, I won't. I usually don't say that I hate or really despise a celebrity, but she one of the ones that I don't like her. I hate everything that she got going on. Sorry. I just do. CPS needs to be involved. That's the thing. Like, she not considering it. Like, you can't just be as wild and belligerent as you are with the baby, bro. They gonna come and take your baby, and that's gonna be the worst thing ever. You know? Will this live be saved? Yes, this live will be up, definitely. The Shade Room is the Lucifer of all blogs. Let's be real. And that's the thing. I used to defend it because I'm like, the Shade Room has all the, they can post what they want. Is that you don't have to engage with it. But I do feel like, yeah, their intent is pretty malicious, like with a lot of stuff. Let's see. I had to block the Shade Room. Too toxic for me. I still follow it because I get like a lot of my stories, but it's just taking breaks and also having the mental stability to understand that you can't internalize everything on there because you will get consumed with that stuff. She's pregnant with alcohol in her system still. Yeah, that's scary. That's so scary. So scary. What's the name of the show? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I ain't about to promote you to watch it, but it's it's called Crazy in Love. It's on Zeus Network. You're so beautiful and well-spoken. Love watching you. Keep going, Queen. Thank you so much, Lexus. Appreciate that. Please go live more often. I will. I got Wi-Fi. I got Wi-Fi now. I got Wi-Fi 2 days ago, so now I can get back on here. I'm in my own little zone. Are you going to watch Jocelyn Cabaret season 4? I actually might, and I know I said I wasn't going to watch season 3 because season 2 had pissed me off. But my friends made me watch it. I actually liked season 3, obviously better than season 2. Jocelyn wasn't as degrading. I think she did way better with season 3. So season 4, I might. Jada is bleaching. I have put my unpopular opinion. I don't think she's bleaching. I know what these girls is doing. These girls are getting glutathione shots. Look it up. I don't know how to spell it. It's GLUTHOTHIO. I can't spell that shit, but I'm horrible at spelling. I'm great at writing, can't spell. But that's what they're getting glutathione shots in which you get an IV. It's like a skin. It's actually to detox your body, but I think part of it is also it lightens your skin. I think that's what them girls is doing. I'm just giving y'all the tea. Trust me, I know this shit. Yeah, this show's on Zeus Network. Yeah. Someone said glutathione is still bleaching. I mean, I guess I don't know too much about it. So if that's what it is, then yeah, I'll believe y'all. Yeah. So let's do the Q&A. I have 2 minutes on my timer, but like I said, I'll go for like the next 5 to 10. So just Q&A. It can be random or it can be about any of the topics. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I really did appreciate this because I need to get some stuff off my chest. I'm a human being. So yeah, I be on YouTube and I don't really show my face and stuff anymore, which I'm going to get a camera. My camera just broke a long time ago. And I'm like, bro, you already doing podcasts. Like, no need for you to get on here. Someone said lip combo. Okay, hold on. Let me find it. I done messed up my makeup bag. Trying to get ready for y'all. I think I just have a brown lip liner on, but the color on the lip, you know how it is when you're looking through your makeup. Give me a second. Let's see the color on the lip. Dang, where did it go? I'm going to find it. I've actually never wore this before, so I'm happy that you guys like it. And I'm happy that I actually liked it because it's been sitting in my stuff, but I never... Aha, here we go. Here it is. So I just used this like literally a brown eye pencil for the lip, like any brown one. But the like kind of light color, like reddish, brownish color, whatever, is LA Colors gel liner. Oh, y'all can't even see. It is in Cafe. That's what this is called. So this is Cafe. LA Colors is probably cheapest. I think you get this at General Dollar or whatever, Family Dollar. I didn't even know it was cheap, but I did that and I put this like a little bit on and I just put a clear gloss. Ruby Kisses. Got this from Beauty Supply. I'm a cheap girl. I'm a cheap girl. I'm not gonna lie. It's only here goes the timer. It's only certain stuff that I spend a lot of money on, and it's definitely not makeup. Definitely a cheap girl. Let me continue on. Have you been keeping up with Superhead? She's pregnant by celeb chef who goes to her. Yeah, I talked about her in my when I made my Brittany Renner segment in my that was on Monday on my Monday's video, and I said like like she out here pregnant by a man who don't claim her, and she out here trying to what's it called? She was outing him and the other girl, and it's just like, but you were the other woman in so many people's relationships. So how dare you sit up here and now you want to be mad that somebody's doing the same thing that you caused on other people? So like I said, whatever energy you put out is the energy you're gonna get back. Like people be telling me like you're gonna get bad energy back. I'm like, all right, we'll see. Let's see. Not gonna lie, I'm glad I found this channel last year before I started college. I only got half of my high school years due to COVID, but I feel like a lot of the advice on this page is helping me to prepare for adulthood. Oh, that's really good. Yeah. Well, congrats for being in college. I know that's like, a challenge. I went through that challenge too. But yeah, I was honestly, y'all, what I'm trying to be in life is nothing more than the person that I needed when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, 17, 19, especially 19. That's when I made my most mistakes. But that's what I try to be. Is just whatever person I needed at the time. Because like I said, I never had no role models. Everything I've learned is from life experience. Nobody has ever once said, hey, I'm going to be a mentor to her. I'm going to guide her. I'm going to help her. I'm going to be a resource for her. I'm going to be a phone call away. Nobody has ever done that for me. So the fact that some of y'all like take that away from my commentary, I really do appreciate that you guys can see me in that light, because that does, that's my personal goal, but I'm glad that it's also rubbing off onto y'all that are watchers and listeners as well. So how are you and the modeling girls doing? Great. We have a fashion show next weekend that we're going to be outside of Cleveland. We are also doing like a tour around Toledo to showcase our modeling agency to the youth. And we are doing a music video for an Afrobeats group in the next few months. So we're doing pretty good, pretty good. Girl, I don't like pain, so I know I couldn't have any type of surgery. Yeah, I had one surgery. It was on my belly button because I had a hernia from childbirth, and not from child. I didn't give birth now, but when I was a child, from childhood. And I got it when I was 18. Didn't like surgery. I don't like the anesthesia. I don't like the medicine they give you afterwards. I don't like medicine, period. So yeah. Brown lip liner and LA Girl gel liner, cafe, and clear gloss. Yep, that is the combo. That is the combo. Chioma halftime in Philly 28-0 Eagles. Thanks for the update. Thanks for the update. Let's see. When are you going to release new music? I like your music at the end of your videos. Yeah, I did answer this a little bit earlier in the live, but I think, okay, so here's the backstory with the music, just briefly. With me, it was simply that most of the songs that I was making, I was getting YouTube beats. And as an artist, you know that YouTube beats is hard because sometimes it's hard to get in contact with those producers, as well as somebody else could have your beat. Somebody may have bought your beat. So all the songs I was previewing, were beats that I found, or, somehow I found them, whether it was YouTube or anywhere. Then I realized I need all original beats, right? To make my life easier, because then I don't have to go through the process of having to pay extreme arm and leg for the rights to a beat if I own it myself, if I get somebody to just make a beat. So now I'm in the process of re-recording almost every song, because now I had to go get new beats for almost every song, or similar beats, remakes. So the African girl song, the song's called One Time, you know, one time for the African girls and popping in the sun, let me hate that song. So that song I don't know, I probably have to re-record it. So it's just been taking some time. But my management team and I, we're doing like a rollout of certain songs. So my next song that I'm actually going to be dropping, you guys haven't even heard it. I haven't previewed yet. I think I just got the beat back for it. So now I can go to the studio. I'll probably go this week, you know, or next week on Sunday, probably. I'm not doing anything as long as my Eagles ain't playing. And record a song. It's called Ceremony. It's more of like an old school Lil Kim, Foxy Brown type of vibe. And that's going to be the next song that I drop. And then I'm kind of building up to my songs that I have been previewing, which are like the ones that y'all really like. The song that I have been previewing at the end of most of my videos is called Auntie House. As y'all know, I was on the Auntie House platform, which is a music-based platform in Toledo, Ohio. Well, it's just Ohio and Michigan, Detroit, and yeah. When I had the models with me, we had on the pink. I wore that very, very scantily dressed outfits. That was not supposed to happen, y'all, but that's another story. But yeah, so I have to go. I'm going back to Auntie House with that one. So I'm waiting for them to. I was gonna drop that already, but they have a new set, so I gotta wait for their set to be built for me to go back. So I have another song. The song I really want to drop is my Free Mind cover. I can't wait for y'all to hear that because I don't talk about nothing ratchet. I talk about just straight real shit. I can't wait for y'all to hear that. I think that's the best song I have. Um, Damn, if I did a live performance, I can't do no live performance, but I will next time. But yeah, so that's bullets on the music. So the answer of when is like now I'm getting the beats back because I went on vacation, like I said. So now 2023, I'm getting all these new beats. Like I said, someone said never use YouTube beats. Yeah, don't. Just find a producer that you like and just tap in with them. So I found a producer that I like, and we've been working with him probably for the last few months. So now that I have somebody that you know is on my team, it's making things a lot easier. Someone said she proves she can write and rap on a rap competition show. Who are we talking about? Oh, Lotto. Yeah, I think Lotto is a good artist. I think she is. People need to know that once you get a BBO, you will have to keep getting more rounds to keep it up. Yes, people don't know that. Same thing with your titties. I used to be so obsessed with getting my breasts done. I knew I was going to get a breast enhancement from the 6th grade. I just knew. I was like, yeah, once I get old enough and get some money, I'm getting my titties done. And now that I'm older, I don't think I would do it. Someone said work with a producer, always connect and network with producers so they make the beats in front of you and you tell them what you like and what you don't. That's the best. That is such great advice, and I had to learn that the hard way. So that has been the delay, is that I didn't know what I was doing, or I was getting all these beats and I'm sounding good, I'm taking them to my engineer, but then it's like, hey, can you get the stems? And like, damn, I can't even get the stems because like I don't know who the producer would be. I got it from YouTube, they not answering their email. It was just a process. So, like Kat said, find a producer, tap in with them, let them make the beats in front of you, and get somebody who's in house. You know, somebody that you can always have on speed dial. Are you still writing your book? Yes, I am. My life has just changed a lot, so you know. Damn, I missed somebody's comment. I wanted to read it. Somebody said something about a PhD. I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it so bad. Send it again, please. I saw something about something in a PhD, but the chat refreshed, so I don't know if I can find it again, but I just tried to look for it. But okay, here it is. Yes, thank you, Chioma. I have a mentor and I'm so grateful. She has a PhD and she's an AKA and child free. I love her. That, you know what? My friend, my manager, he just became an alpha a few months ago. So he invited me to the Alpha Phi Alpha Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast that they had here. And I went, and I was so impressed by like the Black excellence, because I didn't grow up seeing a lot of like Black excellence in terms of like just being real, like Black Americans. Like I grew up seeing just Black people being stereotypical. Like that's just the environment I was in, you know, being out of Philly. And then, you know, I went to high school close to Baltimore. Hence why people be confused by my accent sometimes. But like, yeah, like I was so impressed with like the Black excellence. And I sat at a table with some AKAs and they were so impressive to me. one of the girls was even a subscriber of mine, which was so crazy. She was like, I know who you are. I'm like, really? And we was just chopping it up. And I was so impressed, like so impressed. I'm so like into that type of stuff where I'm seeing Black excellence. I need a mentor like that. Hell, can you tell her to be my mentor too? Please? Please message me. I need a mentor like that. Um, let's see. How much time do I got? 9:50. All right, y'all. 5 minutes, promise. Gotta wrap it up. 10 o'clock, I gotta start watching my game. Um, someone said, I just could never. Oh, speaking about Lotto, I just could never get behind her. I don't mind supporting a lighter skinned woman like Ice Spice, who is clearly a girl's girl. She likes dark women. Okay, so somebody told me one time in my comments that Lotto did or said something colorist. I must have missed it. Can somebody like send it to me on Instagram or Twitter or something? Because I must have missed this. And somebody has said it, and I meant to ask them to send me it, but I just forgot. So yeah. I don't dislike Ice Spice. Like I really don't. I just do think she has light skin and pretty privilege, but New York Times called her rap's new princess recently. And I was just like, I think that's a little bit of a reach for now. Like she hasn't proven herself enough yet, but I don't dislike Ice Spice. I just think she has a lot of privilege because of her look, but I think her swag like is cool. Like I think she is different than all the other girls. Period. Like I in terms of like her swag, like I don't know. I just think that's just what I think. How do you stay productive and disciplined with everything you have going on, YouTube, modeling, etc.? Um, people say I do keep a planner, but do stuff in seasons. My modeling stuff is a season. Like I work with the girls intensively in the summer, but throughout like the fall and spring, we do things here and there. That way during the fall and spring, I can devote like most of my free time to music, but then YouTube is my job. So I'm always doing YouTube, but just do things in seasons. You don't always have to go 100% at everything at all times. And I had to learn that the hard way because that's how you get burnout. But yeah, I just do things in seasons. I stay productive by being like, okay, I'm sticking to this. I think I'm disciplined because I grew up Nigerian and in a very militant home and never had any fun. And now I'm a robot in the head. So that's probably where that comes from. But yeah. Someone said, wait, you're writing a book. Yeah, I think I'm like, honestly, I'm probably like 50 pages into that book. I just got to finish the second half of it. Do you speak Igbo? I don't, but when I went to Nigeria, I picked up on so much more Igbo that I feel like if I just was there for like in just someone was just speaking Igbo for me to me for like 3 weeks, I'd probably be fluent by now. I'm 33. I'm from Philly. I never had a mentor or family or other women I knew because it was always a competition. I just want to be around people who help one another. Yeah, I think that's another thing with like Black girls. Like we're like kind of bred to be catty, and I can be catty too sometimes. Um, that's why they call me Pretty Pink Pussy because I get catty. But I'm just being dumb. But yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. So it was nice for me to go to that event where it was like alphas, deltas, AKAs, and all that. Like all the Greeks were there, and just to see all of these people supporting community of other Black people. I've never had seen that. In college, like yes, there were Greeks and stuff, but like to see it on the growner side, I had never seen that before. So it was really nice to see that. Where we got? I think that's everything, y'all. Yeah, we on the last minute. We on the last minute. So I'm about to just wrap it up, wrap it up. I'm 23 and you make me feel so much better about the way that I think. These young people really don't know any better, and it's almost like they don't want to know more. Girl, you are absolutely right. And it's good that it's a few of us that have a group that we feel refreshed in how we think and the way how we go about stuff, because this generation will make you feel bad for having morals and common sense. They'll make you feel like shit. And I feel like a lot of times people do try to make me feel bad, but it only makes me go a little bit harder, for speaking and being hateful. Like I had someone like, when people say hateful, harsh, judgmental doesn't piss me off. Like I'm a commentator. Duh, I'm judgmental. Like duh. But the whole like Chioma hates women, it's like, no, I actually love women to the point where I'm willing to like hold you accountable to a harsh regard so that you can understand, like, bro, I love you. I want you to do better. But I know my delivery is something else. Ice Spice doesn't have talent and only started rapping a year ago. Lotto been rapping and pumping out vids. Hold on, so is there like a Ice Spice versus Lotto like beef? Because when I made my video about Ice Spice having privilege and someone was like, "Oh, she the next Cardi," I said, "No, she reminds me more of like Lotto." And I was just saying that off of observation. But I hope I've been seeing like something where it's like Ice Spice Lotto. I didn't click on it because I'm like, I feel like people trying to bait me into that. But shit, if it's something going on, it's Lola Brooke who's up next from New York. Definitely, I 1000% agree. Lola Brooke definitely to me up next. Like, don't play with it. Don't play with it. She made fun of her dark skinned hairstylist. Oh shit. Okay, see, I didn't know that. So she said something about her like skin color. Like, was it the girl was dark skinned and got made fun of for being dark skinned, or was she just dark skinned and got made fun of? Let me know. Um, let's see. I don't like Lotto either. She seems like a mean girl. So I never got that vibe from Lotto. But I do think Lotto, like in terms of just rapping, I think she has it. Like some people don't like it, but I listened to her last album. I thought it was good. I thought it like Sunshine, good song. The song she got with Nardo Wick, hard. Um, even as far as Southside, I liked it. Like I think she can write, bro. I think she can write. Let's see. She called the girl a monkey. Damn, what? In what context? She called her an orangutan or some type of monkey. What? What? I never heard it. How did I never hear this? Honestly, as much as I'm a social media influencer and I talk about social media, I miss a lot of stuff because I don't go looking for it. I just comment on what I see on the blogs. I don't ever go searching for stuff and I don't follow celebrities. So it's like, damn, I missed that. I did not know that. Like, I did not know that. Damn, that just make me mad now. I'm over here giving her props. Damn, called her an orangutan and said her private parts are burnt. Was she like being mean when she said like? Was she like arguing with someone and was like going in like, "Bitch, that's why you orangutan"? Like, was it like that? Like, cause damn, like, who the hell just says this unprovoked? That's crazy. This happened after her come up on XXL. My, I want to be on XXL. I don't know how possible that is, but I do want to do that. Lotto jokingly called her dark skin hairstylist an orangutan. Oh, she jokingly did this. She was joking, but of course, people still took it harshly. Oh, wow. Lotto called her an assistant an orangutan. It was her assistant, not hairstylist, and they were roasting each other back and forth. If you follow Lotto back then, you would know they always roast each other. I'm gonna just look it up and see for myself because I ain't even know. Um, so everybody's saying that they were cracking jokes. And people are just going to read between the lines. Oh, wow. I mean, well, then how do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like that's a pass if she said that stuff and it was supposed to be a roast session and they're going to hit below the belt? Or do you feel like that was too far? How do y'all feel? Because, you know what I'm saying? For me, I don't really agree with like saying, I just feel like when you say anything like monkey or orangutan, it's race based. That's how I feel personally. Because I feel like Black people get compared to monkeys a lot. You know what I'm saying? Um, But I do think, you know what I'm saying? I get why some of y'all saying like it's not that serious, but it's like I just feel like this. I don't like the whole monkey orangutan stuff. So you don't think Lotto needs to diversify her topics? No, I definitely do. But I think if you actually listen to her album, she did. I think what happens with a lot of female rap is people don't go listen to their whole project. So the songs that they do have on there where they're not speaking about certain stuff, people don't listen to them. Like even Meg Thee Stallion's album, Good News, she had a lot of songs on there that weren't that freaky. And I don't think they got the credit that they deserved. Even her song, Her, I'm Her, 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 Her. I liked it. And people didn't like it. And I liked the song because I feel like it was more like it was more like Beyonce, Who Run the World, Girls. It gave me that type of vibe when I was listening to it. But people are gonna focus on, you know, the freak shit because this generation is full of freaks. You know what I'm saying? Freak ass people. Freak ass generation. Generation freak. Why are we even Gen Z? They should have made us Gen F. Freak ass generation. All this sexy ass shit. And it's like I'm not even against sexy, but yeah, we got some freaks in here. We got people getting peed on and shit. I think Coyle Ray's album was underrated personally. I like Coyle Ray too. I think she's also underrated, and she gets written off as a TikTok artist, which I guess she is, but I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I liked her song Anxiety. I don't even, people were like saying they didn't like it. I liked it. I liked it. I liked it. Um, I personally liked it. I feel like Meg hasn't been the same since the death of her family. She hasn't had time to heal. Yeah, I agree. I honestly feel like a lot of them celebrities aren't going to be on social media like that anymore because the pressure is too much. Like it's too much. It's way too much. Like I held Meg accountable for the whole incident thing for her part, but at the end of the day, she was the victim. Period. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I feel like it's just too much. And I don't blame them for just saying fuck the internet. Cause I mean, the social media aspect of their job matters, but doesn't at the same time. So, well, guys, that is it. It is 10 o'clock. I've been on here for honestly 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this live. Like I said, I will be keeping the live up. So if you want to catch the replay, all of it will be up for everybody to check. I know some of y'all don't want me to go, but now that I'm back in my new apartment and getting everything together, I still got to order some stuff. Like my apartment's still pretty bare. I gotta get acclimated, but at least I'm in my filming room right now, and I have like a guest bed, a desk, a TV in here, and I'm just slowly but surely getting the stuff together. So honestly, y'all, it's been good talking to you guys. I hope we, had a good conversation about the topics, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting me. I also do want to say that stay tuned for the music for real, because I know y'all have been hearing me say that, but I know what I'm doing now. I didn't know what I was doing for the past 2 years, but I do know what I'm doing. And again, thanks for y'all's support. Good morning, good night, wherever you are. Thanks for y'all support. It's really hard being an influencer, especially one that says the things that I say and talks about the stuff that I talk about and has the opinions that I do. So to have just even a snippet of a fan base, it is humbling. It's rewarding because I know this generation likes to hype up other stuff, and it's not what I exude. I know I'm a rare breed. So I appreciate all the people that stick with here. Okay. Let me go watch my game. Go Eagles. Thank you guys and have a great night. I will see you guys in my next one. All right. Bye, y'all.